Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you're in the world. You know it is JJ and JJ's PC Builds. Alrighty, talk of the news of the day. Now, before we get started, if this is your first time here, please subscribe. It would be much appreciated. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. What I mean by 4,000 watch hours, if you watch the videos from beginning to end, every video, it would help out the channel and help us grow, help us get to the monetization part we need to be, and then we can go from there. Our first goal is to get the monetization. Then after, we'll work towards the next goal, which will be probably 10 to 100,000 subscribers. But anyway, let's go ahead and get right into the video. So here we go. Now, the thing is today, what I've been watching and listening into today was this. The simple fact of everybody talking about the new Gen series. See, you got AMD, where they had their last Gen series was the DDR4 series, okay? And Intel, you had the DDR4 series. I'm just going to say DDR4 because that's what series it entails. But now the new DDR5 series is out. Okay, it seems like there's a whole bunch of things going on with the DDR5 series, which I told everybody a couple videos ago that if you're going to switch from DDR4 to DDR5, it's not a perfected thing yet. DDR5 is not perfected. Look at all the problems AMD's having with X3D processors, especially with asus, and you never know what other motherboard manufacturers having that same problem. It seems like the Expo, they're having a problem where it's overvolting, and it's causing the chipset, the processor, as well as the motherboard, to burn up inside the socket. Okay, because it's basically the motherboard's overvolting the socket, which the socket's connected to your processor, causing your processor to overvolt, heat up, and causing the motherboard, and the combination is a really bad combination. So for example, like asus has got a problem. I love asus to death because their DDR4 motherboards are seasoned, perfected, and ready to go. So I'm going to move this over here. And make sure you all got your drinks right here and you got your snacks. We're not going to make a long video, but we're going to make a semi-long video just to let you know. But this is just a fair warning. I'm going to warn all my subscribers and all the new subscribers, before you decide to invest into the DDR5 series, I would suggest you wait until they perfect it. I'm happy with the DDR4 series, for right now. I mean, when I feel that the DDR5 series is more seasoned and ready to go, then I'll decide to jump up to that series. But right now, I'm happy with what I have. I have a B450 motherboard, which originally it started out that the B450 motherboard was the Zen 1 and Zen 2 series. But since they, updated the BIOS to where you can put the Zen 3 series in there, so now I'm running the 5000 series of the Zen 3, which I'm running the Ryzen 5 5600G. Now, I got a new package coming in a couple days that I want to put into my computer. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm not going to tell you what it is until I get it. because I don't know how shipping is. I don't even know if I can get it, because if you remember a video or two ago, I told you all that UPS has been nothing but, lagging on and on and on. So shipping's been really difficult. So we're just waiting patiently, just to let y'all know. We do got another piece coming. Oh, and the keyboard I got is running great. The Red Dragon, the S101-3 is running great. I'm going to tell you, I'm happy with it. The reason is because I have everything installed onto the keyboard. It doesn't need any, it's plug and play. You don't need to add any drivers if you don't want to. Now, they do have a driver for this. They do have a driver and a program for this for the mouse. So if you want to just download the program for the mouse, then you can get on Red Dragon's website. All you got to do is look at the back of your mouse, see what kind of mouse you got, and go from there. I'm going to do this. I'm just going to take you all through a little bit of a walkthrough on where to go. So let's go to the action screen here, and let's go and type in S101-3 and see what comes up. Okay. So let's see if they got it. See, it's right here. I mean, it's not a bad price. So, and you go to the downloads, and you go to the mouse, and you look for your mouse. So if you find your mouse in here, then you're going good. Now you can do the search and do the 101-3 and see what comes up. No results. Go to the combos. One result. There it is. Okay. So if you've seen what I did, I went and tried the mouse, because I know everybody does this. So I went over here and put it in the search, hit combos, and boom, here's the driver. Okay, you can download this right here from reddragonusa.com/downloads. Okay, and that is http://www.reddragonusa.com/downloads to let you know where that is if you're looking for the driver for this keyboard. Now, they do have further combination sets, they do have the drivers for it. But to find out what the drivers work for is just for the mouse, not the keyboard, because the keyboard has everything built on it. Just to let you know that. So, yeah, I got a cool background there. So, all right. So now you've seen where that is. I figured I'd share that with you really quick, so that way you know that I got a good keyboard. And believe it or not, I do got a good keyboard. I love the keyboard. I love the mouse. The response time is you can't beat. It's astronomical how fast the response time is. Because it's a gaming mouse and keyboard, the response is very, very good. The keys are quiet, and that's what I love. And it's plus they're rainbow colored keys. It's even better. And you can change the colors, all on the keyboard. All the functioning is on the keyboard itself. It's basically like how I got, the lights on my fans for my PC, like this on here. It's the same thing with the keyboard. Just to let you know, I love how it is, and it's To me, I love it. I mean, I'm going to have this one for a long time, it seems. Not unless they come out with, somebody says to me, hey, I got something better. You want to try it out? And I'll be like, sure, I'll try it out, I mean, in time, I'm sure somebody, one of these businesses are going to ask me to try out their stuff. So I keep that option open for them. Basically, I have my actual test computer, which is my computer. So, and in time, I will build a test computer with the test station and stuff like that so you all can see it. But that's in time. I still got to get all the parts, so that's going to take time and money, and there it goes. And like I said, I do have something coming in the mail. As long as I can get the mailman here on time, that's time to be told. So let's see. It should be coming, and if I'm right, it should be coming on the 15th or 16th of this month. So it should be coming Monday or Tuesday, the part I'm expecting. So let's hope it's here on the 15th or the 16th. Let's hope that we get it on the 15th or the 16th. So, and I can't believe that, with Amazon being in the same state as me here in California, that it's taking 5 to 7 days to get something when their warehouse is right here in California. Doesn't make sense. So, on that note, let's get back to what we were hearing about the blowing up of the 7000 series, 7000 X3D series on AMD Ryzen. Now, they're just, for right now, what I'm hearing is just that the X3D seems to be having a problem on asus motherboards, but I haven't heard anything on other motherboards like Gigabyte or NZXT or, all the other ones that are out there, MSI, all them. I haven't heard anything on them of the 7000 series X3D blowing up. So if they do, I'll make sure I let you all know. But for right now, I haven't heard anything, on them other motherboard manufacturers. For some reason, I don't know what's going on with Asus. Asus, you got some awesome stuff, but the thing is this: you're kind of doing yourself a bad by letting this go on and on and on. Fix the problem. Tell everybody you got the problem fixed. And tell them, put that off to the side and kind of put it on a standby until you can get the problem fixed. RMA all the motherboards that you sent out with this problem. Fix the problem on the motherboards. Send them back to the customer, or send the customer a brand new board to where they don't have that problem anymore, and make them happy. If they see you take in RMA their old motherboard, that one they purchased that's giving problems, and you give them back a brand new one with the updated BIOS and everything else and make good for it, nobody's going to say a word. Everybody's going to be praising you like you're a god. So, whatever you got to do between you and AMD, y'all need to sort that out really quick, because my subscribers and the new subscribers want to know what's going on. So we're wondering what's going on. We see all the news. We know you guys are working on some situations. We know you're trying to get there. But if you do got the new DDR5 motherboards from Asus, I would wait until Asus comes up with a final update for that BIOS that's going to correct the problem before you decide to plug that motherboard in with your CPU. or RMA the motherboard and go get a different motherboard and solve the problem. Okay. Not unless you want to do an RMA on the CPU and the motherboard. So that means you'd be RMAing both. You know, you done spent, what, $1,200 right there on a motherboard and processor. You know, I can't see it. Okay. Now, when it comes to the combos, and this is the thing. Now, if I were to take, I'm going to take y'all with me for a minute. You know, this has got me like going on. We're going to go to Amazon. Okay. We're going to pick up on Amazon, and we're going to put motherboard combos. Okay, so let's see what we can find on a motherboard combo. Okay, this is a good example right here. $1,300. This is just the 7950X. Now, $314, 8-core 16 thread. You get a B550, MSI B550A Pro motherboard, okay, and the 5700X for $314. Guess what? Slap a RTX 4070 behind it, and guess what you got? $814. Add $70 for the 32 gigs of RAM, and boom. You know, you're close. You're close to a $1,000 computer. Okay, hands down, $1,000 computer. I mean, and you get everything you want. So moving on down the road, they got the 5800X with the MSI Mag 550 Tomahawk. You know, I don't think you want to go that route. So, let's see. I don't think y'all want Threadripper neither. I mean, look at this. If you're going to be spending $1,000 on a motherboard, you want to make sure it runs tight. You know, I mean, especially even if you got one here, you got the 670E Godlike. You know, I mean, $1,300. $1,300 is AMD right there. So, you know, or, you know, you can go the 13900K and for what, 1,058. You know, if you're thinking about spending that, you know, but it all depends on what you want to buy. You know, like there's the 1082 and it's the Z590. That's if you want to go Intel. You know, if you want to go the 670E for 1208, you know, they got different motherboards in that fashion. Or you can go the 12700, you know, with Intel and, you know, get a 12-core processor for $528. Or, you know, you want to do the i9 13900 with the Z790A motherboard, you know, 13th and 12th gen for $913. Or do the 5700X for $349 with the MSI MPG 550 gaming motherboard. I mean, $340. If you look at it this way, if I were to take this one right here, right, just to say, if I were to take and spend $349 on this motherboard right here, right, which they got different combinations. They got the 200, they got this one right here, you know, for 260. They got this one right here for 289. I mean, you can go the 5600X, you know, if you're looking to go that route, you know, 269, you know, 289, you know, depends on what you want to buy. I mean, you can go all the way up to the Ryzen 9 7950X, $773 right here. Ryzen 9 5950X, $689. You know, I mean, Ryzen 9 5900X with the B550 motherboard, $479. You know, you got B5 with the mag. I wouldn't go the S. Now this one I would probably do for $479. And if you throw, I mean, if you want $1,000 computer, I mean, that's the best way to go. I mean, you know, depends on what you want. It really does. It really depends on what you want. You know, there's ways there's ways for you to get something that's decent. I mean, let's see. MSI right here. See this right here? This motherboard looks like it's got 2 slots. Okay, it's 4.4 gigahertz. We know that, you know, that's nothing new. Okay, what you're looking at is the motherboard itself. Because these two right here, that gives you an extra CPU. Now, if you were to go get a 5600X, right? Let's say you go get a 5600X, right? And you put it to this motherboard, and then you get yourself RTX 4070, and you plug it in, and with the RAM and everything else, it'll run great. I mean, it depends on what you want. You know, you can get for $70, you can get RAM. I mean, 260 and 70 is only going to be what, 335 bucks. With the 1 terabyte hard drive, you'd say $400. So, I mean, $355, $400 for that whole combination. That right there, this right here is the whole computer. Now, if y'all don't know that, what goes inside the computer, you see right here. You see the motherboard combo, the RAM, and the NVMe SSD drive right there. I mean, the whole thing for $355 right here at 97. I mean, that's not a bad deal. That is not a bad deal. Plus, you can change. Let's say you don't want to use that processor. You want to save that processor for a rainy day. Okay, you can go get yourself a 5600X. Let's see. Let's go up here and let's go to Amazon again. I told you, when I take you guys with me, I go from front to back. So anything that I do, you guys see. Let's see. Let's do Ryzen CPU. Let's see. You want to do a 5800X for $479. Oh, that's combination. Sorry. 5700X, $192. 5600X, $152. Okay, this would be one I would go next. Okay, this would be one that I go next. For the simple fact, even though that it says 4.6, I believe it goes 4.7, 4.8. Now it tells you what it supports, the X570 and B550 motherboards. It does 3200 DDR 3200 I mean, 4.6, 4.7, because, you know, the Ryzen 5 5600G will go to 4.6 gigahertz. I've already did that many of times with this processor, which I'm running in this PC. So that looks like it's a really good one. So now let's go and see what the details are. Okay. Let's see the specs. So we go and see the specs right here on Tech Power Up. Now, it's a 65 watt processor. Now, I say this for the simple fact it's not a 120 watt processor, it's a 65 watt. But it has L3 cache at 32 megs. Okay, L2 cache is 512K per core. Okay, so if you figure out how many cores you have, right? And you figure out you got 6 cores. So it's 512K times 6. But you got 32 megs of L3. That right there alone is good enough for what you need to do. So its feature supports right here Precision Boost 2 and all of the good stuff above. What else? It is an AMD 4 socket. They say the launch price was $299, which it's not. Not now. Base clock at 100 megahertz, multipliers at 37x, which I know the multipliers will go up to 45, 46. So it supports the 3, 4, and 500 series motherboards. Now, the chipset supporting 300, 400, and 500 series motherboards. Now, even though I could still get that processor and plug it into this B450 and run that off of this, even though that this motherboard is PCIe 3.0x16, I could still run this processor here off of this computer. So it's a good deal that I can switch up any DDR4 processors. You know, it makes it a good advantage for me. And I don't have to sweat it. It's got Gen 4 20 lanes. So it's 20 lanes. That's not too bad. So, it'll still work for what I got to do. But, yep, it'll still work for what I got to do. It's a good deal on the processor, I think. It's a really good deal, I think, on the processor. You know, $152. You can't beat it. You know, get $60 off instantly when you pay $92. You know, if you get a store card from Amazon, you only pay $92. Now, no annual fees. Now, that's a good deal right then and there. So they're going to knock off. Wow, I didn't even see that. So let's move this around here. They're saying you take $152 and you minus 92. So you save $60. It says $60 off. That's not a bad deal. I had to make sure on their calculations if that was correct, but wow. It looks like it is. $152, you can go down to $90 on that processor. That's not bad at all. So they got the Ryzen 5 2600 or Ryzen 5 5600 or 5500 for $96. I mean, that's not bad. They got the 5800X for $150. That's not bad. They got the 4600G for $100. That's not bad. You know, that's a 6-core 12 thread. This is an 8-core 16 thread. This is a 6-core 12 thread, 8-core 16 thread. I mean, that's not bad for a 5500. 5600G is 127. I paid 100. Was it? I paid about 152 for mine. So let's see, $150. 5800X 8-core 16 thread, $150. So 105 watts. That's not bad. If you want let's say 120 watt processor, that's not too bad. DDR4 still has a lot of potentials. It's still going to be out there for quite a while. So it might be looking good to invest in it. I mean, even the 5700G 8-core 16 thread would be a good processor too, because I got the Ryzen 5 5600G, and that's a good one, and it's really rocking me along, so I don't mind it. You know, this one gives me 2 more cores and 4 more threads. You know, that's not bad. I mean, for 188, that's not bad. You know, especially if you're using integrated graphics, that's not bad at all. $79 for the Ryzen 5 4500. You know, it's 4.1 gigahertz on the max, but it's 65 watts. You know, it all depends. I mean, they got this one for 135. 4600G for 100, which I would kind of stick with the Ryzen 5 5600G. 4600G is not too bad, but I don't think I want, you know, to get like a laptop GPU put into this desktop. I don't think I want that. They got the 4100 4-core 8 threads for $65. Not bad. Let's see. 6-core 12 threads, $3,600. Oh, $470. You get the Ryzen 9 5950X, which you don't need. You know, that's way overkill, I think. 5700X for $349. A little bit of overkill, but comes down to it all. Y'all see what's going on. But anywho, this is just to give you an idea. There is much DDR4 out there. You know, DDR5 is not totally perfected. Get something that's going to temporarily get you by until DDR5 gets more perfected and gets more out there to where it's more reliable than it is right now. Because right now it's not really reliable. Give it a year or two, let it get more reliable, and then after that, you know, move up. And I'm sure by then prices will be down, so even though if you're a year or two behind, you're still going to get updates and everything else. You're still going to have at least 2 to 3 years on it. Usually a lot of people don't hold on to their computers. Some will hold on to their computers for 10 years. Some of them will hold on to them for 2 to 3 years, maybe 4 years. So it all depends on your flavor. So, but anyway, that's just my conclusion on what you can do to get yourself by instead of going DDR5 compared to DDR4. DDR4 will operate and play all your games just as well as long as you get the right kind of setup. And it will hook you up and it will play the games you want for years to come. This PC right here, I'm thinking I'm going to get at least 4 years out of just the way it is. Now, if I want to upgrade it, all I got to do is upgrade the processor, upgrade the RAM, the amount of RAM I have in there, and upgrade the video. From integrated graphics to discrete graphics, boom, I'm back off to the races again. So, that's the way I look at it. You know, as far as hard drive, SSD drive space, you can always upgrade that. It's not a big deal. Got 6 slots in this computer for, you know, SSD cards, and I got 1 slot for, you know, M.2, which runs the operating system. That's all I need. You know, I don't need extra NVMe slots if I don't want to, you know, put the SSD cards on the, you know, the external SSD cards. I don't want to put them onto the motherboard. You know, I'd rather have them separate because they run their own power. The only thing is that they switch information backwards and forwards from the motherboard to, you know, from the SSD to the motherboard and back forth. You know, I mean, takes less power off of the motherboard when you don't connect them on it. The less things you connect onto the motherboard, the less power you have to worry about going to other apparels. You know, that's just my thought. So, but anyway, if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. And all the new subscribers we got on JJ's PC Build family, welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. So, but I'm going to get out of here until the next time in the next video. This is JJ on JJ's PC Build. We will see you on the next one.